Okay, we're up to Ches Amid Aleph. Ches Amid Aleph, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines from the top. With some very interesting Gemara. We're going through the 4 Rosh Hashanahs. We had yesterday, we had a Brisa that included 3 more. We included the months, the Rosh Chodesh, this is the first of the month, or it's the last time you can be Ma'aber a month, make a leap year, or it's the time for the first time you're going to use the Chumas Ashkolim, or according to one opinion, it's the skiris of houses, that if you meant that a particular house for a specific period of time, Shana Zu, you'd be over in Nisan. The Gemara went back and forth. Hakamar Tana didn't include it. So for example, by first one, by Chadoshim, we said he's only speaking about years, he's not speaking about months. The second one, when he discussed Ibor, the word is speaking about when something ends. That's the last time to do a leap year. He's only speaking about beginnings. Regarding Shumas Alishka, we said it wasn't finite. It was, in fact, you could go ahead and if you did it b'di yoitza, so he didn't do that. And Skiris Bottom, he said that you know what, Skiris Bottom, that people in Nisan sometimes it got cloudy as well. If it was cloudy, a person's not going to go ahead and not rent the house during the rainy season. So those are the different reasons, various reasons we gave why we concluded with 2 more. We asked 2 more questions. So why didn't we go ahead and include the Omer as Rosh Hashanah on the 16th day of Nisan? And why don't we include the Shtei Lechem on the 6th day of Sivan? So we gave 3 terutzim, either because they're in the day and not in the evening, or because they're totally in an action, or because that they were we only included Rosh Chodesh. We didn't go ahead and go ahead and include middle of the month things. So that's what we're up to. That's a quick of yesterday's daf, and now we're up to Daf Ches. We saw in the Mishnah there's a machlokes when exactly is Rosh Chodesh l'maisa behema. In other words, when is the cutoff point from that you can't take off from one year to the next. So Reb Meir said Rosh Chodesh Elul, and Reb Elazar and Reb Shimon said Rosh Chodesh Tishrei. But said Rosh Chodesh Tishrei. So the Gemara initially is going to say they both argue in the following pasuk. The pasuk says, Rabbi Elazar Reb Shimon, Amen Becha b'Tishrei. Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Yochanan, Shnei Mikra Echad Darshu. They both darshu in the same pasuk. What does the pasuk say? What does the pasuk say? It says, pasuk at the Tehillim, Lovshu Karim Hatzayin. We're going to teach as the sheep, they are dressed, meaning they are pregnant. Va'amokim yatfu bar, and the fields, they are clearly lush. You see a lot of crops in there. Yisrei alu af yashiru. They shout, they even sing. And if you in Nisan, where it's full, the shibolim are full and the wind blows, they knock against each other. So it appears if they are singing. So that's the pasuk. Now, where is this speaking about? The Meir Savar, Emasai love shu karim atzoyin. When are the sheep pregnant? Bisman shamokim yotfu bar, when the fields are lush with coverings of grain. The Emasai amokim yotfu bar. That's ba'adar. It's an adar. So the Emasai yotfu bar ba'adar. Mis abrois ba'adar. They get pregnant in adar. Now, the gestation cycle of a behemoth daka, a small behemoth, guys, is 5 months. So they get pregnant in Adar, the Yoldes Bav, and 5 months later, they go ahead and give birth throughout the month of Av. Once they finish the month of Av, so Rosh Hashanah Shalem is Elul, the month after Av is Elul, so that would explain based upon this pasuk. Notice it's important, the juxtaposition of the animal being pregnant to the field being lush. When are they pregnant? Bisman Yisro Af Yashiru, in the time where the fields are singing. That's Nisan. When they're knocking against each other, that's Nisan. Where if the wind blows, you'll hear the kernels knocking like music. Emasai Shibalam Moimis Shira. When do they say Shira? Benisan. Miss Arbais Benisan. They get pregnant in Nisan. The Yoldis Elul. 5 months later, they give birth in Elul. And Shana Shalem is the end of Elul, which is Tishrei. Okay, so the dash is the same pasuk. It's just a little difference, a little minor difference, guys, comes by the order. The first thing stated is the fact they're pregnant. The second thing stated is the field, and the third thing stated is the grain singing. So, according to Reb Meir, the first one is next to the second one. When are they pregnant? when in Adar. According to the Rabbi Elazar of Shimon, you're like skipping that. You're going from 1 to 3. When are they pregnant? Number 3, when the grain is knocking together in the field. So therefore, the Gemara is going to slug up Rabbi Elazar of Shimon based on the fact that the order would seem more appropriate to Rabbi Meir, because at least goes 1, 2, 3 rather than 1, 3. Nami Haksiv Yisrael Af Yeshiru. What does Rabbi Meir do with the fact that it says Nisan? It says who ba'afasa the Havi Nisan. Those are the late ones. The animals that mate late and they give birth later. Vidach Nami and Rabbi Elazar of Shimon Haksiv Amakim Yaftu Bar, which is Mashma Adar. Hahu becharfaisa the Asim Adar. Those are the ones that got earlier. So that's that Bishleim Rabbi Meir, very good according to Rabbi Meir, who says that why they get pregnant in Adar, Kidichsiv of Shukorim Hatsoin, Bisman Shamakim Yatofu. So pasuk number 1, they get pregnant. Pasuk number 2, part number 2, when the fields are lush. The Ikonami Yisro Af Yeshiru. And in addition, there's also those that get pregnant when in Nisan, when the fields are singing. El Rav Elazar of Shimon Ibchami Boile. You should have switched around the order. Love Shukar Matzain. When do they get pregnant? Bisman Sheisro Af Yeshiru in Nisan, when the fields are singing, right? The order is a little wrong. The Ikonami, in addition, the Amakim Yatfu Bad, the early ones that get pregnant in Adar. But if the Ikka pregnancy is in Nisan, then the order of the pasuk and Sefer Tehillim is wrong according to Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon. Ela Lashon Charata, or that's a shlug up on Rabbi Yochanan. El Amarava Be'emes the Kuliyama Love Shukara Matzayim Bisman Shamakim Yatofu Ba'ar Ba'adar. Based upon this pasuk of the Tehillim, even Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon would be moided they get pregnant in Adar. So therefore, this can't be the source, since they hold that their pregnancy is in Nisan, because 5 months later they're giving birth, and we're going to count it from Tishrei, Maisa Behema. This can't be their source, because they admit if this is their source, they should agree with Meir that they get pregnant in Adar, and therefore it should be Elul. The argument in the following pasuk. Asa to Asa, right? We're familiar with Asa to Asa, we're famous Maftir, right? Mishnei Maisers Akasam Medaber, double Lashon. We're speaking about 2 Maisers. Echad Maiser Behema, one is Maiser Behema. The Echad Maiser Dagon, and one is Maiser Dagon. Maiser Behema, Maiser Dagon. You're taking off grain, right? And you're taking off Dagon. Meir Sava, Makish Maiser Behema, La Maiser Dagon. We make a hekesh between Maiser Behema and Maiser Dagon. My Maiser Dagon, Samech Legoim Rai Isu, right? Just like Maiser Behema, as soon as it's finished, Maiser Dagon, as soon as it's finished, that's when you're going ahead and taking it off. So when is it gonar? When is it finished off according to Reb Meir? It finishes off at the end of guys, 5 months, right? 5 months from Adar, 5 months to Av. At the end, at the end of the cycle, it would be Soimich next to the end of the cycle would be Elul. It would be Elul. Just like Maisa Dagon, it's Tishrei, because that's the end of its cycle. So to my Maisa Behema, by Elul is the end of is juxtaposed to the next cycle of Mad of Av. That's when it gives birth. For Elazar Shimon Sava, Makish Maisa Behema LaMaisa Dagon, we make a hekesh, but a different aspect of the hekesh. Ma Maisa Dagon, Rosh Hashanah Shaloi Tishrei, just like Maisa Behema, it's Rosh Hashanah's Tishrei. Af Maisa Behema Rosh Hashanah Shaloi Tishrei. This brings the source for we said in our Mishnah, Yerakos, for who are in vegetables, that Tishrei is the Maisa for that. Okay, so let's go outside. Let's just chazariba what we just said. We had a machlokes in the Mishnah. When exactly is Maisa Behema? When is the cutoff point that you're not going to be able to take off animals from this year and this year? Because this is the Yashan in this Chadash, says Reb Meir, it's Elul. Why is it Elul? Because the crops, when they finish, they get right to the crops. The crops get finished in Elul, and right next to Elul is Tishrei. Tishrei is right next to it. So too, when do the animals finish giving birth? In Av. What's right next to Av is Elul. That's the aspect. So can we make the hekesh between Maisa Dagon and Maisa Behema, and the month next to the completion, that will be the month. Just like the month next to completion is by Dagon, who are in the month next to completion would be by Maisa Behema, and the month the completion is in Av, the month next to completion is Elul. Rabbi Elazar B'Shimon, they made a different aspect. When exactly is Rosh Chodesh? When exactly is Rosh Chodesh? The Rosh Chodesh for crops is Tishrei. Who at the end, the Rosh Chodesh for Ma'aseh Behema is Tishrei. That's the machlokes. The Echad B'Tishrei Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim. The Mishnah said on Echad B'Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim. What exactly does that mean? Rosh Hashanah for years. What does that mean? The Mai Hilchasa, what halacha the years? Amar Papa L'Shtaros. That you should note how the date to start. Nan Shtarei Choiv Hamukdamim. Shtarei Choiv that come earlier, predated start. This seems to be Chazara from day one of Rosh Hashanah. Psulin. The Hamucharim and the post-dated are Ksherim. Fred the Gemara L'Chayra, that's extraneous. For Tanan, we already learned. Be'echad B'Nisan, Rosh Hashanah Malachim. We said Malachai Yisrael, you're going to count the rains from Malachim. And now you tell me Echad B'Tishrei L'Shanim. You're going to tell me you count from Tishrei. You told me the first guys. The first in the Mishnah was Le'inyan Malachim. Malachim is to tell me that Jewish kings, you're going to start counting from Nisan. Now you're telling me Shanim means for Shtares, meaning you're going to count Jewish kings from Tishrei. You would now have a stira minei ubei in the Mishnah. Ramina l'may hilchasa v'amr b'chista l'Shtares. So l'chayri you have Malachim Shtares and you have Shanim Shtares. So like Kasha, Kala Malchei Yisrael. Nisan is Malchei Yisrael, Kala Malchei Umas Ha'olam, and Shanim is the Malchei Umas Ha'olam. So l'chayra, our Mishnah openly is saying that Shanim is Umas Ha'olam. Elahadam Rav Chisda, Lo Shanu Ela Malchei Yisrael. Rav Chisda said we did not learn when it said Rosh Chodesh Malachim. It only means Malchei Yisrael. Amal Malchei Umas Ha'olam. Mi Tishrei Maninon. Right? Rav Chisda Masnisan Aslash Minon. Guys, look. Let's go back to the Mishnah. Go all the way back to Daf Beis. Go all the way back to Daf Beis. Abba Rosh Hashanah, before Rosh Hashanah, B'echad B'Nisan Rosh Hashanah Malachim. Echad B'Nisan is Rosh Hashanah Malachim, that we start counting kings from Malachim, vis-a-vis placing the year of their reign in the star to ascertain whether the star is predated or postdated. Good? Ul Regalim, that's Rav Shimon. That's Rav Shimon that you need order for Baltacher. B'echad B'Ela Rosh Hashanah L'Maisa Behema like Rabbi Meah, of course that's the Hekesh. It's soymich tuad it's gemar. Of course, we go after the hekesh to Ma'aseh Behema, just like Ma'aseh Dagon is in Tishrei, so the Ma'aseh Behema is in Tishrei. B'echad b'Tishrei Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim. Now, Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim. What are you telling me? This is Linyan Shtares. Go back to the first line. B'echad b'Nisan Rosh Hashanah Malachim. On that first line, Rav Chisda said that's only speaking about Malachei Yisrael, but Malachei Umas are in Tishrei. Now the Gemara is saying Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim is speaking about Malachim and Tishrei. So what is Rav Chisda telling me in that opening line of the Mishnah that he said when it says Nisan Malachim only means Jewish kings, but not Goyish kings? I don't need an Amoyer of Chisda to tell me before Mishnah. If the line of the Mishnah Shanim means Goyish kings, why do I need a Amoyer of Chisda telling to me? It's an off on a Mishnah. The end of the Mishnah says Echad B'Nisan Rosh Hashanah L'Shanim. If Shanim means kings, Goyish kings. So Rav Chisda, what did you add? What did you add by telling me that in line 1 of Chisda? What did you add if I hear it from the Mishnah in line 4? As I afraid to Gemara, back by us. Rav Chisda Masnisan Aslash Minon. Says the Malay. Rav Chisda Kroy Aslash Minon. He's coming to tell me how to darshan the psukim. The psukim that we had, he was telling us how to darshan them. Everybody is saying, okay, there are other people to learn Shanim a different way. Now, if Rav Chisda learns like there's other people, very good. Then Rav Chisda on line 1 is telling me something I would know. Because line 4, Shanim, is not speaking about stories. It's speaking about something else. Guys, there's 4 Tkufis in the years. There's Tishrei, Teves, Tammuz, and Elul. Now, that I told you. There's four what we call Tkufis, right? We take a solar year, and the solar year is broken up into what? Into 4 different halakim. The solar year is broken up into four different halakim. So you have Tishrei, Tkufis Teves, Tkufis Nisan, and Tkufis Tammuz. What we would call spring, right? Spring, summer, winter, fall, winter, what we would call. So those are broken up. Now, if you divide them to 4, you get 91 days, 7.5 hours, and 519 chalakim. So Shana, when it says over here, Echel Shanim, it's telling me, says Rav Zera, the first Kufa of the year starts in Tishrei. That's when they started counting the Kufas in Tishrei. Like this machlokes in Rebbe Eliezer and Rabbi Yeshua when the world was created. This is going to come to Rebbe Eliezer that the world was created in Tishrei. So we're going to start counting the Kufa of Tishrei, that 91 and 7.5 days and 519 chalakim. We're going to start counting from Tishrei. So very good. Says the Gemara inside. Rav Chisda Reb Zera Masnilai. Rav Chisda learned Pshat in Shana like Reb Zera. The Reb Zera Amar the Tkufa. That it's Rosh Hashanah Tkufa. So therefore, guys, very good, guys. We may have to look back in the Mishnah. Line 1, Rosh Hashanah l'malachim. That's Jewish kings. On that, Rav Chisda said, but Goyish kings is Tishrei. Now, when it says Echa b'Tishrei l'shanim, it's speaking about nothing about kings at all and shtaris at all. It's speaking about it's the first Kufa of the 4 Kufas. Rabbi Lezehi, the Amar b'Tishrei nivra olam. The world was created in Tishrei. Rav Nachman by Yitzchak Amar l'din. A third pshat in Lishanim, not shtaros, not the kufos, but we all the guys. What we hold Rosh Hashanah is when everyone's judged, like Rosh Hashanah. And here's the pasuk: Yichsiv meireshus Hashanah v'yad achris Hashanah. Right? It says meireshus Hashanah v'yad achris Hashanah. The whole pasuk that is stated. Tamid einach Hashem lekecha bach. Hashem's eyes are on you the whole time. Meireshus Hashanah v'rachus Hashanah, and Rav Nachman Yitzchak says Meireshus Hashanah, which is Aleph Tishrei, Nidain, a person will be judged. Ma yev Seifu, what's going to be at the end of the year? Now, Mimaida Tishrei, how do you know it's Tishrei that this counting begins? Dichsiv Tiku b'chodesh b'shayfa, blow your shofar, b'kesel yom chagenu. Kesel is lashon of covered up. Where the day your chag is covered up, right? Then Ezeu chag, which is the chag on the base, which is the only yontif that you can't see the moon because it's too early. Because since it's again the moiled just took place, it's very short, you won't see it. All the other yom tovim take place further on in the month, so you will be able to see the moon. And Rosh Hashanah, what does it say about that Rosh Hashanah? Ki choykli Yisrael hu mishpel ke Yaakov. So that's the time when HaKadosh Baruch Hu will judge. So therefore now, 3 pshatim in Shanim, guys. 1, shtaros. 2, tkufos, like Zera. 3, we have Rebbe Elazar, and who? And Rav Nachman by Yitzchak. Rav Nachman by Yitzchak says, Le'inyan din, Rosh Hashanah Le'inyan din. So it's amazing. But when you began the Mishnah, in your mind was this Shanim according to Rav Nachman by Yitzchak. Right? You hear Rosh Hashanah, that's what you thought about, that one line, Rav Nachman by Yitzchak Le'inyan din. And it's only, and guys, and it's only according to him that it's Rosh Hashanah. According to the other ones, according to everyone else, there's no mention of Rosh Hashanah in the Mishnah. According to Madi Yom, it said Shtaris. According to Rav Zera, it said Kufis. There's no mention of Rosh Hashanah in the Mishnah. Fascinating. You would take that as the given, right? It's only one pshat in Shanim. But in Rosh Hashanah, Shanim, one pshat in Shanim is according to Rabbi Yitzchak, Nachman Yitzchak. Fascinating. Tanrabana. Ki chaykli sol mishbala ke Yaakov another pshat melamed sheim bezin shel ma'ila nechnasim ledin. The Bezdin Shel Ma'ila do not go ahead and come together in din. Elam Kain Kitchu Bezdin Shel Mata as a Chodesh until they make Rosh Chodesh below. When they make Rosh Chodesh below, that's when they go ahead and call the court to order. Tanya Yidach, another Baisa Kichakli Yisrael who ainly Eli Yisrael. Only I would say only the Jews are judged. Leumas Oila Minai and how know the Goyim are judged. Tamalaymar Mishpat El Kei Yaakov. It says the Mishpat of El Kei Yaakov. So mashma not the mishpat for everyone. In Kei Matam Lemki Choykli Yisrael, mashma only Yisrael. Malamed she Yisrael nechnasim tchilasan ledin. Yisrael they enter first ledin. Kid Rav Chisda, like Rav Chisda. In other words, we're being judged and the Goyim being judged. We're judged first. Rav Chisda, Melech with Tzibur, Melech nichsnach techila. You have a Melech and a Tzibur, the king gets just first. Shneimar Mishpat Avdoi, the Mishpat of Shloimo, and Mishpat Amo. My timer. The reason why the king is judged first is not covered to leave him outside. So we'd have to be judged first. It's not covered to go ahead and bring him outside. V'bayisema. Mikame de leifish charein af. Before he gets angry. Before he gets angry. In other words, what are the reason you're judging the Melech first? In our case, we parallel to the Goyim, we are what? Relative to the Goyim, we are kings. Why are you judging them first? Why are you judging them first? For two reasons. One, either because it's not covered to make us wait, or two, think about it. Kodesh Baruch Hu is judging, and he's getting angrier and angrier and angrier. You think about you go to traffic court, right? And the judge says, guilty, one after the other, and people are coming up with these lame excuses, and you finally come up there, and you had it, right? Mashenkin, if you're the first one, you have a chance. So therefore, what it's a very good analogy. We get the case. We get called up first before Kodesh Baruch Hu has a chance to get built up all the plaintiffs against them. L'shmita, we said that Echad b'Nisan and the Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah l'shmita. Min alon, how do you know that? T'chsiv u'b'shnas hashvius Shabbat Shabbason yel aretz. And in the time of the Shemitah, it should be a rest. V'gama shana mitishrei, and we learn shana from Tishrei. It says t'chsiv mereishus hashana. So now, yesterday we had the limud. It says two places Chatzei Hashana, and by Tishrei it just says shana. The ligma shana minisan, less than shana minisan. T'chsiv rishan hu lachem l'chatzei Hashana. So why don't we go ahead and darshan from Nisan? It says we're done in shana she'enim achadashim. We're going to learn the word shana, which is alone. It's just a shana by itself. Mishana she'enim achadashim. From shana does hachadashim. Being done in shana she'enim achadashim. Mishana she'enim achadashim. So I have my druthers. I can learn Shemitah out from Tishrei. I can learn Shemitah out from Nisan. By Nisan, it says two things. It says Shana and Chodesh. By Tishrei, it only says Shana. By Shemitah, it only says Shana. Give my druthers, I'll go ahead and do Shana v'Shana, just like yesterday, in Nisan, we went from Chodesh to Shana, right? We're going to go ahead, just Shana. Uli Yovlos, and for Yovel. I'm thinking of holding off on this till tomorrow. It's not a long sugya, and I'm feeling a little pressure because I have to do something. Okay, so thank you for listening. Bez Hashem. There's a